Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today, we are going to tackle a very common challenge: how to talk about yourself. This is something we need to do in many situations, like in a job interview or when meeting new people. So to make it practical, we are going to simulate a job interview right here. And for that, I need an interviewer. Eddy, would you do the honors?
I was born for this role.
Great, let's get into character. I'll be the candidate, and you can be the hiring manager.
Mr. Hiring Manager to you.
All right, Mr. Hiring Manager. I'm ready when you are.
Let us begin. So, tell me about yourself.
Okay, the classic first question. Let's pause here for a moment. This question is an invitation to give a brief summary of yourself. You want to be concise and relevant. A good way to start is with an opener. For example, I could say, of course, to kick things off, I'm a passionate content creator. Now, let's look at that phrase. To kick things off, it's a common idiom. It simply means to start. It sounds natural and confident. Then I used an adjective, passionate. It's important to use strong, positive words to describe yourself. Words like dedicated, proactive, or detail-oriented.
Snack-oriented is also good.
Right. Let me continue my answer to Eddy. To kick things off, I'm a passionate content creator with over 5 years of experience in language education. See how I connected my passion to my professional experience? This makes the answer relevant. Now I should add a key skill. Let's complete the answer. I specialize in making complex topics easy to understand for learners.
I see. And what is your motivation?
Another great question. Here, you should talk about what drives you. What makes you excited about your work? I could use the phrase, I'm driven by. Let's try it. I'm driven by the opportunity to help people build confidence in their English skills. The phrase, I'm driven by, is a powerful way to state your motivation. It's stronger than saying, I like. It shows a deep sense of purpose.
A noble purpose indeed.
Thank you, Eddy. So, let's review the structure of that first answer. 1. A strong, positive adjective. 2. Your relevant experience. 3. A key skill or specialization. And 4. your core motivation. This creates a complete picture. It's much better than just listing your job history.
Very well. Let us move on. What would you say are your greatest strengths?
The strengths question. This is where we talk about what we are good at. A great phrase to use here is, I have a knack for. A knack is a natural skill or talent for doing something. It sounds more humble than I am the best at. So I will start my answer like this. That's an excellent question. I would say one of my key strengths is my ability to communicate. I have a knack for breaking down ideas. Now, notice something important. I didn't just state my strength. I gave a specific example of it. I have a knack for breaking down ideas. This is much more powerful than just saying, I'm a good communicator. Always try to show, not just tell. Provide evidence for your skills. Let's add another strength to make the answer more complete. Furthermore, I pride myself on my organizational skills. Let's pause and look at that phrase. I pride myself on something. This means you are very proud of a particular skill or quality you have. It's an elegant and confident expression.
I pride myself on my napping abilities.
A very important skill, Eddy. Now, I need to give an example for my organizational skills. In my previous role, I streamlined our content calendar, which increased our team's efficiency. Let's analyze that sentence. The verb to streamline is excellent. It means to make something more efficient and effective. And I also mentioned the result. Increased our team's efficiency. This shows the impact of my strength. So the full answer combines two strengths with examples.
Impressive, but nobody is perfect. Tell me, what is your greatest weakness?
And here it is, the weakness question. Many people are afraid of this one. But it's actually an opportunity. The key is to be honest, but also to show self-awareness and a desire to improve. Avoid cliches like, I'm a perfectionist or I work too hard. Interviewers have heard those a million times. Choose a real, minor weakness. Then, explain how you work on it. Here is a good structure to follow. Start with a phrase like, something I've been working on is. This sounds proactive and positive. Let me formulate my answer now. That's a thoughtful question. Historically, I've sometimes found it challenging to delegate tasks. I used to have an impulse to do everything myself. Here, I've stated the weakness clearly. It's a real weakness, but not a fatal flaw. To delegate means to give tasks to other people to do. Now, for the most important part, what I am doing to improve. However, I've been actively working on this. I've learned to trust my teammates and focus on the bigger picture. The second part shows growth and a positive mindset. It turns a weakness into a story of professional development.
A well-constructed answer. You have passed this test.
Great. Now everyone watching has a solid framework for these common questions.
Now, describe a time you faced a challenge at work.
Okay, moving on to behavioral questions. These questions ask about past experiences. The goal is to understand how you behave in certain situations. The best way to answer is using the STAR method. STAR is an acronym. It stands for situation, task, action, and result. This structure helps you tell a clear, concise, and impactful story. Let me show you how it works by answering Eddy's question. First, ask for situation. I need to describe the context. Certainly, in a previous project, we were facing a tight deadline for a major new feature. See, that's the situation. A tight deadline means we had very little time to finish. Next, T for task. I describe my responsibility. My task was to coordinate the final review of the materials before the launch. This part is very direct. It explains my specific role.
The plot thickens.
Now, A for action. This is the most detailed part. I need to explain the steps I took. I took the initiative to create a detailed checklist for the review. Then, I scheduled short, focused meetings with each team member. Let's look at the verbs I used. I took the initiative. I created. I scheduled. These are strong action verbs. They show that I was proactive. Finally, R for result. What was the outcome? As a result of this organized approach, we completed the review ahead of schedule. The launch was a success, with very positive feedback. The result is crucial. It shows the value of your actions. Try to make it as specific and measurable as possible. So that is the STAR method in action. It's a fantastic tool for storytelling.
A logical and effective method. I approve.
Great. Let's continue the interview.
Thinking about the future now. Where do you see yourself? In 5 years?
A question about future goals. This question helps the interviewer understand your ambitions. They want to know if your goals align with the company's future. It's good to be ambitious, but also realistic. You should focus on growth and learning. Here are some useful phrases. I aim to, or I aspire to. These show intention and desire. Let me prepare my answer. In the next 5 years, I aim to deepen my expertise in educational content. I also aspire to take on more leadership responsibilities, perhaps mentoring new team members. This answer works well. It shows a desire for both personal and professional growth. It's aligned with the company's success.
A future-oriented mindset. Very good. That concludes my questions. Now, do you have any questions for me?
Okay, this is a critical moment in any interview. The answer to this question should always be yes. Not asking questions can make you seem uninterested or unprepared. This is your chance to show your curiosity and intelligence. It's also a chance for you to decide if the job is right for you. So what should you ask? Prepare at least 3 thoughtful questions. Avoid asking about salary or vacation at this early stage. Focus on the role, the team, and the company culture. I'll ask Eddy a question about the role. Yes, thank you. I do have a few. Could you describe what a typical day or week looks like in this position? This is a great first question. It shows you are trying to imagine yourself in the job. It's practical and shows genuine interest.
A typical day involves focused work, interrupted by mandatory nap sessions to maintain peak performance.
Right, a productive environment. Now for a second question. This one will be about the team. I'm also curious about the team dynamic. What is the work culture like here? Is it more collaborative or independent? This question shows you care about being a good fit for the team. Team dynamic and work culture are excellent keywords to use. And for my final question, I'll ask about success in the role. What does success look like in this position within the first 6 months? This is a very strategic question. It shows you are results-oriented and want to make an impact quickly.
Success is measured in projects completed and treats earned.
Understood. Results and rewards. Those were all the questions I had. Thank you for the detailed answers. Now, the interview is almost over. It's time to end on a high note. You should always thank the interviewer for their time. And it's a good idea to reiterate your interest in the role. To reiterate means to say something, again to emphasize it. Let me give you a good closing line. Thank you again for your time today. I've really enjoyed our conversation, and I'm very excited about the possibility of joining your team. This is a perfect ending. It's polite, professional, and positive.
We will be in touch.
And that's a wrap on our simulation. Great job, Mr. Hiring Manager.
The pleasure was all mine. You are hired, tentatively.
Haha, I appreciate the vote of confidence. Now let's quickly recap. The main points we learned today. First, when you tell me about yourself, give a concise summary of who you are. Use positive adjectives and idioms, like to kick things off. Second, when talking about strengths, don't just tell, show. Give specific examples of your skills and their positive impact. Use powerful phrases like, I have a knack for, or I pride myself on. Third, for the weakness question, be honest and show self-awareness. Explain the weakness, but focus on how you are actively improving. Fourth, use the STAR method for behavioral questions. Situation, task, action, result. It will make your stories structured and much more effective. Let's continue our recap. The fifth key point was about your future goals. Remember to be ambitious but realistic. Show that you have thought about your professional journey. And finally, when it's your turn to ask questions, always have some prepared. Ask about the role, the culture, and what success looks like. It shows you are truly engaged. But beyond what you say, there is another layer of communication. And that is your nonverbal communication. This includes your body language and your tone of voice. Let's talk about posture first. Try to sit up straight. It makes you look more confident and attentive. Avoid slouching or crossing your arms. These can be seen as defensive or closed off.
A confident tail wag is key. It projects authority.
For humans, a smile is more effective. A genuine smile can make you seem more approachable and friendly. Next, let's consider eye contact. It's important to maintain good eye contact with the interviewer. It shows that you are engaged and listening actively. Don't stare, of course. Just hold a calm, steady gaze. And what about your voice? Speak clearly and calmly. Don't rush your answers. It's okay to take a moment to think before you speak. A varied tone of voice also helps to keep the listener engaged. It conveys enthusiasm and interest. All these small details, when combined, create a very strong, positive impression.
It is about the complete package, not just the words.
Exactly, Eddy. You've summarized it perfectly. This brings us to our final point: preparation and practice. Confidence doesn't just appear. It comes from being well prepared. Before any interview, you should research the company. Understand their mission and values. Think about how your skills and experiences align with their needs. This research will help you tailor your answers. To tailor something means to adapt it for a specific purpose. Then you must practice. Say your answers out loud. You can practice with a friend or even in front of a mirror. This helps you become more comfortable with the vocabulary and phrasing. The more you practice, the more natural you will sound. And that's really the ultimate secret. The goal of all this preparation is to be able to relax and just be yourself. When you are prepared, you don't have to worry about what you're going to say. You can focus on having a genuine conversation with the other person. So to everyone watching, I hope this lesson has been helpful. Remember that talking about yourself is a skill, and like any skill, it improves with practice. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Every conversation is a chance to learn. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope to see you in the next episode. As always, the best way to practice is by using the shadowing technique. Listen to this video again and repeat the sentences out loud. It will help your pronunciation and your confidence. If you enjoyed this lesson, please consider hitting the like button and subscribe so you don't miss our future lessons. We'd love to hear from you in the comments. Tell us about a time you had to talk about yourself Until next time, take care and keep practicing.
Remember, be confident. And always know where the treats are. It shows you've done your research